multivariate learning technique, which will help you to actually classify and take decisions related to many fields of many fields of behavioral finance and even beyond behavioral finance. Also, this can be very gainfully applied in marketing. Also, those people who are actually doing some research in marketing can also apply this tool of discriminant analysis. I had a same discussion actually in the previous summer school, that is third summer school on behavioral finance. So anyone who has attended that class may skip it now. But once again, I will tell that it is better to revise things because discriminant analysis is little bit in the multivariate zone of statistical analysis. So these are cannot be just marked up in one single presentation. And also sometimes some happens that like for example the film Sholay, you can watch it 3-4 times also and you never get fatigue. So this presentation is also somewhat like it has a lot of inputs, lot of masala, a lot of examples, and I took a lot of time when actually I designed the initial presentation. When you are actually in a particular pitch which is not very known to you, you take a lot of protection. So that was the thing actually happened in the previous, that is third summer school on behavioral finance, when Ranjit Singh, Professor Ranjit Singh gave me the opportunity to interact with financial experts. So I was in a different pitch. So accordingly I took a lot of jatan to make this presentation. That's what I mean to say. I don't tell that it's a very great presentation. The thing is that I took a lot of jatan. Okay, let me share my screen, and instead of using so many words, let me directly go into the presentation. So I'm sharing the content. Okay. Screen share. Professor Singh, is my screen visible?
Yes, sir, visible, sir.
Yes, thank you. Okay, so this is actually the starting screen, application of discriminant analysis in behavioral finance. And you may note down my email ID. You may contact me later on because I provide after sales service also. That means if you have some doubt regarding discriminant analysis, you may contact me later. And if there is no doubt, then also you can contact me for delivering lecture in your institute or organization. So, anyway, so let me go to the next slide. Now let us understand what is the purpose of discriminant analysis. First thing is that it is a supervised learning technique. I will come to that. What is a supervised learning technique? Classify the subjects into mutually exclusive classes or groups on the basis of some information on the predictor variables. Predictor variables is very simply putting, these are some independent variables. Some independent variables. In this case, we don't use the word independent, rather we use the word discriminating variables. And this is a supervised learning technique. Let me explain what is the supervised learning technique. It is somewhat like this, that suppose a small child, say 3 years child, enters into a room and see in the corner of the room one candle is being lit up. And the flame of the candle is very nice because he is not seen so many candles. Because he was born when electricity all around him, hardly any chance of seeing a candle. And that candle was being lit up in the corner of the room, and the flame of the candle is simply dancing over the candle top. So he finds that it is something very nice, interesting, and also lively because it is moving. So the child goes up and touches the candle flame and accordingly burns his or her hand. The child starts crying. People come, they understand that he has touched the flame, and then sends him up with providing some medicine, etc. to his finger. After a few days, the child once again sees a flame and once again touches it, and the same experience he got, and then he learns that there is something called as a candle, which sometimes lit up, producing a flame at the top. That flame looks very nice, and I feel like touching the flame, but I will not do the touching of the flame because if I touch it, I will burn my hand. This is an example of unsupervised learning. That means the system, the data set learned from its previous experience. There is no one who actually supervises. Then what is an example of supervised learning? Supervised learning means that a child enters into the room, he sees a candle, he or she sees the candle lit in the corner of the room which looks very nice, beautiful, and he wants to touch the flame, but then his mother drops in. His mother tells that no, you don't touch that. If you touch that, there will be chalan. You will feel very, you will burn your hand. It will be like shock laga, etc. Mother somehow managed to explain. And the child does not touch the flame, but he or she gathers the information that this is something very dangerous, which looks beautiful but should not be touched. And so I should not touch that particular flame. So that is supervised. That means there is something in the system which will teach the system that this is this is that. So this is an example. Discriminant analysis is an example of supervised learning. That means there is something in the system which will help the system to update the knowledge. It will not go and collect experience and then it comes to a position whereby it gathers a decision making or something which makes a decision. So this is a thing of supervised learning. I think if it appears to be a little bit superficial to you, allow me to explain a few more slides. The thing will be clear. To attain the goal, a linear combination of the predictor variables are formed, which is used to classify the subject. That means subjects means you, me, we are subjects. In behavioral finance, since we are interested in financial behavior of human beings, so obviously each human being is a subject. Now, based on this human being, we collect, there are some independent variables which collect from this human being. Like these human beings we refer to here as the subject. Some information about some independent variables on the subject, like maybe their salary, maybe their income, maybe their saving, whether they have previous experience of sharing money in stock market, etc. And now as new stock has been offered, whether that individual will invest in that particular new stock, which otherwise appears to be lucrative. So that I want to know. But the most important thing is the data is the lifeblood of statistics. Without previous data, we cannot take a decision. That hawa mein we cannot take a decision. We need to have some data so that we can update our knowledge. So I require to know the experience of this group of subjects. That okay, given all this, their salary, income, savings, etc., decision, what they did when last time a stock was offered to them. Did they go and purchase? Did they purchase or they did not purchase? And now I require some function which I require to develop based on the independent variables, which will help me to take a decision about the individuals, whether those individuals will go for this investing in the new share or they will not go for investing in that new share. In these few slides, the next coming up few slides, I will put lot of counter examples in order to make you understand what is the job of discriminator. Once this is done, these examples are not only from behavioral finance, they are from different fields of everyday life, so that the point enters inside you is that you should conceive by the end of these few examples that what discriminant analysis is going to do for you. And now, yeah, some question is there? Okay. Now the classification is to be done in such a manner that within the group variance is as small as possible. Something technical, leave it. Anyway, so let me go to understand that understand the purpose of discriminant analysis. So what is the purpose of discriminant analysis? Let's bring two examples to understand the performance of purpose of discriminant analysis. First, bidding for an all-rounder in the next IPL auction. Next is deciding if a patient can be classified as a schizophrenic patient. So two examples, one from sports and one from medical science. So with the help of this, I am trying to explain to you discriminant analysis, and then we'll enter into the field of behavioral finance. Bidding for an all-rounder in an IPL. Okay. Now, those who are not so much interested in cricket and don't know what is happening around in the world of cricket, let me tell you that the recently IPL was going on, but because of the pandemic, suddenly it is stopped. This is the 14th edition of IPL. So till 14 years, 13 years prior to that, we had complete IPL. Now IPL is a franchisee-based cricket tournament which was started in India and later on copied by several other countries, had their own league. Like Sri Lanka had the Sri Lanka Premier League, Pakistan had Pakistan Super League. So all these different types of leagues there. But it started in India. So what happened? The players are offered and the different teams bid for players. They want to make a team comprising of say 20 to 25 players by competitive bidding amongst themselves. Not that all teams have to bid for all players. Whatever is their requirement, based on that they will bid. They have a certain maximum amount of money they can spend in building the teams. So while bidding, if they pay more for a particular player, there will be less amount of money left for other to form the other members of the team. So these actually the teams cannot make a very strong team, because if the strong players come with a higher price, so they cannot purchase all the strong best players, but they have to restrict it because there is the upper ceiling of the amount they need to spend. Now one team requires a all-rounder. They want to bid an all-rounder in their favor and purchase an all-rounder because they understood that their team is in requirement of an all-rounder. Now they also want to find out that which all-rounder they should bid for. And if you have ever seen an IPL bidding in television, you must have seen that Preeti Zinta, who is the owner of Kings 11 Punjab, okay, he sits with some other people, out of whom some people are cricket expert or statisticians, who did a lot of analysis, and they actually have an idea that which player we should go for. The same player may be bidded by someone else also, and then the price will keep on increasing. So they have to look at, I want to get an all-rounder, I want to get the best all-rounder, but at the same time, I have to have a control over the total amount of money that I have. If I spend say 1/4 of my money purchasing an all-rounder, then I am left with only 3/4 of the money for purchasing other 19 players of my team. So that is somewhere they have to go with a balance that they cannot do. Now they look at the previous data set. This is a previous data set. These are some all-rounders who had played in IPL in the previous year. This is Sunil Narayan. He is from West Indies, and as a all-rounder is a person who can both bat and ball. BSR is batting strike rate. BSR is here bowling strike rate. This is economy rate. This is batting average. This is bowling average. This is batting average, and this is batting strike rate. So these are some things which I don't want to discuss now. First three are related to bowling performance. Next two are related to batting performance. So they have seen that if these are the values of a player, then he is a super performer when he actually plays in the IPL. These values, this player also becomes a super performer. These values, then he becomes a performer. These are the values, then he is a non-performer. This is the values, then he is a performer. So this is what I am telling the supervised learning. Supervised learning means I have the data set. Sorry, and I also have the outcome. I also have the outcome from my previous data set. That means I have some previous experience. अगर ऐसा data set हमारे पास नहीं है तो, अगर हमारे पास ऐसा data नहीं है तो, अगर वो नहीं मिला तो, अगर वो नहीं मिला तो कोई और मिलेगी, और नहीं तो और सही, और नहीं तो और सही. So if this data set we don't have, then we cannot perform discriminant analysis. We will perform some other analysis. वो कहानी फिर सही. Now let us concentrate on discriminant analysis. So I have this data set of performance of all-rounders in previous IPL, or maybe, sorry, in international matches, or maybe in their country's domestic matches. I have this type of, and I know who are performer, who is non-performer. 3 groups you can see: super performer, performer, non-performer. Yeah. Now I, as a bidder of say Kings 11 Punjab. Okay, Kings 11 Punjab. Suppose Kings 11 Punjab recruits me as a statistician. So I have this data set. Based on this data set, I can identify or find out that who is a super performer, who is a performer, who is a non-performer. अच्छा, अब IPL में एक चीज मैंने देखा, जब कोई बैट्समैन, खास करके Kings 11 पंजाब का कोई बैट्समैन, when they score good runs or take more wickets, then at the end of the match, Preeti Zinta comes and embraces that player. अब स्टेटिस्टिशियन को बारे में मुझे पता नहीं प्रीति जिंटा एम्ब्रेस करती है कि नहीं, पर नौकरी तो मैंने ले लिया प्रीति जिंटा के टीम में. अच्छा ठीक है, चलो. Now let us proceed. Now you see, based on this data set, I have performed say at the back end discriminant analysis, and what I will be doing now, a new player comes, new player, first time he is been placed himself for bidding, or he has been offered for bidding. I know that he is from Bangladesh, his strike rate is 26.5, bowling average 31, economy rate 7, strike rate 115.3, and batting average is 19.3. So his name is Mahmudullah, who is actually a reliable opener and was a captain also for in Bangladesh team for some time. This is the information. Now based on this information, I am to tell Preeti Zinta that this batsman, when he actually performs in IPL, will become a super performer or non-performer. This information, whether he is a super performer and non-performer in the IPL, is not known to me. But based on that database, which I had showed in the previous slide, and based on the information that we have seen in this particular slide about Mahmudullah, his values, I am to make this prediction that yes, when this player will play, he will become a non-performer. If I tell that Preeti Zinta he will become a non-performer, Zinta will not bid for it. And if I tell that he is a performer, Zinta will bid for it, but she will not go to a very high price. To certain extent, अच्छा 1-1.5 करोड़ तक मिल जाए तो ठीक है, इसके आगे नहीं जाना है, इतना अच्छा भी नहीं है. और अगर मैं बोलता हूँ कि मैडम ये तो सुपर परफॉर्मर है, then she will go for it. 11 crores, 12 crores, 13 crores, she will go for this. Because she knows that he will be a super performer when he plays in IPL. और बाद में अगर सुपर परफॉर्मर हो गया, तो पता नहीं प्रीति जिंटा को याद रहेगा कि नहीं. अगर रह गया तो हो सकता है she may embrace me, और अगर नहीं हुआ तो फिर मेरा नौकरी तो गया. So this is actually what is the situation where just I am giving you an example so that you can get the taste of discriminant analysis. अच्छा, discriminant analysis से ये सब हो सकता है, ये फीलिंग आ जाना चाहिए. ये फीलिंग जब आ जाएगा बॉस, तो I will enter into the financial matters. Okay, so let me proceed now. Let us take another example from medical science. It is about a schizophrenic patient. You must have seen some movies which actually are focused on some psychological thrillers, which are focused on schizophrenic patient, because they actually see many things happening around them, which actually happens only in their thoughts, not in reality. But they cannot differentiate their thoughts and reality, and presume that their thoughts are actually reality and really happening with them. And so this is now for this understanding this schizophrenia, there is no particular medical test, because human brain is something about which medical science knows much less than any other part of the body. And to differentiate this, there is a very thin line between an ordinary mad person and a schizophrenic. Schizophrenic person, otherwise he is normal. He will not scratch you, or he will not throw stones at you. He will dress up like, not like a pagal that we see by the roadside. He will dress up like ordinary person, style सब कुछ बढ़िया, खाली वही schizophrenia में कुछ. अब कुछ वो बोलेगा जो एक्चुअली रियलिटी में नहीं है. अब जितना इंटेलिजेंट आदमी उतना ही तुमको धोखा दे देगा. जैसे मेरे एक प्रोफेसर का schizophrenia होगा. एक दिन उन्होंने बोला कि मुझे तो आज यूनिवर्सिटी लाइफ टाइम अचीवमेंट अवार्ड देगा, क्योंकि मैंने बहुत साल यूनिवर्सिटी में पढ़ाया, पैसा नहीं. मतलब he was actually college in a teacher in a college, and when he retired there, he worked for the university for several 6 semesters, but he did not take money due to some. He was a very honest person. कहीं पे किसी ने कुछ बोला होगा उनको दिल में लग गया तो पैसा नहीं दिया. तो एक दिन मुझको बुलाया कि ऐसा ऐसा मुझको तो यूनिवर्सिटी ऐसा देगा लाइफ टाइम अचीवमेंट अवार्ड. अच्छा सर बढ़िया अच्छा बोला सुना है कि ऐसा थोड़ा पैसा भी मुझको देगा. अब मैं तुमको इसलिए बुलाया कि ये पैसा मुझे लेना चाहिए कि नहीं. मैंने बोला देखिए सर आपने तो क्या मतलब आपको अगर जरूरत है तो ले लीजिए नहीं तो फिर किसी गुस्सा उस्सा करके किसी कारण आप पैसा नहीं लिया तो मतलब आपका जो आइडियोलॉजी है तो नहीं लेने से ही अच्छा है ना. अच्छा ठीक है थोड़ा कहाँ मिल देंगे सर अवार्ड कहाँ मिलेगा आपको अवार्ड. तो उन्होंने किसी ऑडिटोरियम का नाम भी बता दिया कि फलाना ऑडिटोरियम में अवार्ड मिल जाएगा. मैं बोला आपको अवार्ड मिलेगा सर मैं तो जरूर जाऊंगा उसका वीडियो रिकॉर्डिंग भी करूंगा फोटो भी लूंगा और फेसबुक में भी डालूंगा. ठीक है चले आप. मैं गया वहां कुछ नहीं है कोई इवेंट नहीं है. फिर मैं 2-3 चक्कर और लगाया एंड देन आई कॉल्ड द रजिस्ट्रार ऑफ द यूनिवर्सिटी वेदर यू आर गिविंग सम अवार्ड टू समवन लाइक लाइफ टाइम अचीवमेंट अवार्ड टू प्रोफेसर सचिन सर. तो बोले कि नहीं ऐसा तो कोई स्कीम ही नहीं है. मतलब पूरा सिजोफ्रेनिया एकदम पूरा मुझको इतना धोखा दिया इतना अच्छे से वो समझाए. And I got convinced that yes, the university is going to give award schizophrenic. So these are the cases of schizophrenia. Now what happens is schizophrenic patient, it is difficult to identify whether he is really a schizophrenic patient or some other mental problems. For that there are different psychological scales. For example, F scale, paranoia, hypomania, like this introversion scale, K scale, dysphoria, all these. So these are scales 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. These are some scales. These are name of some people and these are the values of these people under these 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And this is the final variable. You may think it like a dependent variable that this is ultimately whether this patient Anwar is having schizophrenia, Beneath is having schizophrenia, Chandni is not schizophrenic, David is having schizophrenia. Like this I have the classification. And that's why I told that this is a supervised learning. That means you have the raw data. You have the independent variables which we call as the discriminating variables, and we also have where they are discriminated into, whether they are discriminated into schizophrenic or non-schizophrenic. That information we have, and that is why it is called a supervised learning technique. Now, if you tell that okay, if I don't have the information only this much, then how to classify? Then to wo kahani fir se other methods are there. Cluster analysis is one of them. That will be in that case that will be an unsupervised learning technique. This is a supervised learning. Now what happens? Given this information, I can apply discriminant analysis and reach to a stage where I can go ahead and classify. How little bit glimpse. Let me show you. Suppose this is a new patient who has come to me. He tells that I am Alexander the Great. I am Alexander the Great. Where is my army? We will attack India. We will attack Porus. Oh, Porus last time he told me that, okay, I expect a king's behavior from you and I gave back Porus' kingdom. I will not do this mistake this time. I will once again attack Porus, defeat him and get his kingdom. And I will also marry his wife. This he is telling, where is my army? Where are my horses? And he is dressing like Alexander the Great. Now the question is, that whether he is a schizophrenic patient और ऐसे ही नाटक कर रहा है. कभी कभी पागल होने का नाटक करने से बड़ा काम बन जाता है. अच्छा तो is he a schizophrenic case? That I want to find out. Now given the data set of the previous data set like Anwar, Chandni, Beneath, ये सब का जो data set है, based on that I find that there are two groups. Okay, before going to this let us see the assumptions. Okay, assumptions, the observations are random in nature. And the predictor variables are normally distributed. Okay. There must be at least two groups and each case belongs to one and only one group. That means a person cannot be simultaneously schizophrenic and non-schizophrenic. Either that individual will be schizophrenic or he will be non-schizophrenic. In particular case, I may have three groups also. As you have seen in case of all-rounders, there were three groups, performer, super performer, non-performer, 4 groups, 5 groups, 6 groups, 7 groups, everything possible. But let us take the example of 2 groups here. Okay, groups shall be defined before data collection. Okay, data means new observations. Before that, we need to identify the groups. Okay, I will collect this data and also I will find out that whether these individuals are schizophrenic or not schizophrenic. This we not that we collect the data and then अरे ये तो नया group हो गया. ऐसा नहीं. We know the groups. The variance covariance matrix of the group should be identical. Okay, now this is one robust assumption. Okay, what is variance covariance matrix? थोड़ा उसको लिए थोड़ा डेटा स्ट्रक्चर मल्टीवेरिएट डेटा एनालिसिस थोड़ा पढ़ना पड़ेगा, पर जरूरी नहीं कि ये मतलब बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। रोबस्ट assumption है, मतलब हाईलाइट होने से भी वो ज्यादा कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं होता है। मतलब ये स्टेटिस्टिकल टेक्निक इज बेस्ड ऑन सम assumption। अब assumption क्या है थोड़ा समझा देता हूँ इन लेमन्स लैंग्वेज। assumption अगर वायलेट हो जाता है तो statistical technique, if you give the data, it will give you compute and give you the results, but those results may not be applicable, because if you apply them in practical situation, it may not give you the desired result. That is one thing. Like this, for a simple example, जैसे मेरे मान लो मेरे बहन को शादी कर दें, शादी करवाना है, I want to marry my sister to someone. Now I am searching for a bridegroom. So Ranjit told me that okay, this is triple IT, अच्छा लड़का है, असिस्टेंट प्रोफेसर ज्वाइन किया, उससे रिश्ते की बात करो। मैंने बोला ठीक है कर लो रिश्ते के बाद, ठीक है। तो मैं गया चला ट्रिपल IT में, तो देखा अच्छा दारू पीता है, तो खबर ली दारू पीता है, नहीं दारू नहीं पीता। फिर रंजीत को बोला ऐसे बाजार से लोन पैसा वैसा उठाता है, लोन लेता है, ऐसा हैबिट है, और दूसरा कोई खराब हैबिट है, लेकिन नहीं अच्छा। तो सब सर्टिफिकेट अच्छा मिला, और रंजीत का एक और पवन सर करके है ट्रिपल IT में, उसको भी पूछा तो उन्होंने भी अच्छा सर्टिफिकेट दिया। खुश, मैंने अपना बहन का शादी कर दिया उस लड़के से। अब कुछ दिन बाद, 1 महीने बाद, वो बहन रोती हुई वापस मेरे पास, तो व्हाई आर यू क्राइंग? देन शी टोल्ड दैट नो एक्चुअली यू आर मैरिड टू सम डेमन। डेमन नहीं, वो अच्छा लड़का है। नहीं वो ही एक्चुअली ड्रिंक्स, एंड व्हेन ही ड्रिंक्स देन ही बिकम्स आउट ऑफ कंट्रोल, ही बीट्स मी। अरे, और and then he also spends all his money in share market, and always he loses only in share market, and इससे दिल नहीं भरा, then he goes and gamble with the money, and there is no savings, nothing in the family, और इसका manners भी बहुत खराब। So actually what happened, the assumptions that on which I married my sister to that particular assistant, all these assumptions got violated। तो हमने एज्यूम किया था कि इस लड़के से मेरा बहन का शादी हो जाएगा, तो मेरा बहन जो है उसका संसार गृहस्थी बड़ा अच्छा रहेगा, वो उसका अच्छा मतलब ऐसा ही अच्छा चलेगा। पर ऐसा हुआ नहीं, क्योंकि एजम्पशंस जो है, तो जितने एजम्पशंस थे वो एक एक करके सारे वायलेट हो। तो दैट इज व्हाट इज हैपनिंग विद स्टैटिस्टिकल टेक्निक। ऑल स्टैटिस्टिकल टेक्निक्स आर बेस्ड ऑन सम assumptions. Now if your assumption starts violating, if the data does not abide by the assumptions, then you cannot expect reasonable results from the particular analysis। मतलब रिजल्ट कुछ आएगा, असल में जब तुम अप्लाई करोगे बात कुछ और। तुम मैं प्रीति जिंटा को बोलूंगा कि ये परफॉर्मर होगा, बाद में वो नॉन परफॉर्मर हो जाएगा, या मैं उसको बोलूंगा कि ये सुपर परफॉर्मर होगा, बाद में नॉन परफॉर्मर हो जाएगा। तो जिसको बोलूंगा कि मैडम इसको बीट मत कीजिए, ये तो अंडर परफॉर्मर है, ये बिल्कुल खराब परफॉर्मर है, वो बाद में दूसरा टीम ने खरीद लिया, और वहां जाके वो सेंचुरी पे सेंचुरी, हाफ सेंचुरी पे हाफ सेंचुरी, विकेट पे विकेट लेता जा रहा है। प्रीति जिंटा मुझको बोल रहा है कि ये देखो, ये क्या तुम्हारा बात सुन के इसको छोड़ दिया था, अभी देखो वहां जाके KKR में जाके वो कितना अच्छा खेल रहा है। तो एक्चुअली दिस टाइप ऑफ थिंग्स विल हैपन if your assumptions are not properly abided by the data set. There are ways and means in which you can check these assumptions. We will see actually this thing, how to check the assumptions, how discriminant analysis works. Based on the data, we deduce a function called as the discriminating function, जिसका नाम है D। ये देखने में करीब linear function जैसा है। That means if there are few variables on which you are discriminating, for example, वो पागल वाला example में we have seen there are 8 or 9 scale, so x1 is say from the first scale, x2 is from the second scale, ... x2 is from the last scale, and then if you look at this function, it looks like a linear function। जो multivariate जो उस दिन दिखाया था multivariate, तो multivariate regression का function जैसा लगता है देखने में, पर है नहीं, ये कुछ अलग है। उसमें मेथड ऑफ लीस्ट स्क्वायर से कोएफिशिएंट रिड्यूस होता है, इसमें वेरिएंस स्ट्रक्चर को स्टडी करके इसको निकाला जाता है। Now this discriminating function, this is the discriminating function, how it will help, let us look at go back to that data set and see। So these are the training sample। मतलब पहले मुझे एक सैंपल चाहिए जिससे मैं टेस्टिंग फंक्शन को जनरेट करूं तो डेटा तुम बोलोगे कि अरे तो डिस्क्रिमिनेट एनालिसिस करने के पहले पहले आपको कुछ डेटा देना पड़ेगा। हाँ बॉस देना पड़ेगा, क्योंकि पहले ही बताया कि स्टेटिस्टिक्स इज द सब्जेक्ट वेयर द लाइफ ब्लड ऑफ स्टेटिस्टिक्स इज डेटा। डेटा नहीं है तो बड़ा मुश्किल है कुछ करना, तो डेटा चाहिए, डेटा चाहिए, मतलब खून तो चाहिए। हाँ, बाद में बाकी चीज आ जाएगा बाद में, तो पहला खून चाहिए। तो ये मिल गया मुझे खून। खून जैसा मेरा एक फ्रेंड है वो पैसे का बोलता है खून। अच्छा नौकरी तो कर रहे हो, खून मिल रहा है कि नहीं? खून मतलब पैसा, तो लाइफ को चलाने के लिए पैसा चाहिए, जिंदगी चलने के लिए खून चाहिए, और स्टेटिस्टिक्स दौड़ता रहे इसलिए डेटा चाहिए। तो वी हैव ए ट्रेनिंग सैंपल। ये इंफॉर्मेशन मेरे पास है इन लोगों का, और हो सकता है बहुत ज्यादा लोगों का, ये 5-6 स्केल का वैल्यूज, और वो अल्टीमेटली सिजोफ्रेनिक है कि नहीं वो इंफॉर्मेशन चाहिए। इसका नाम, टेक्निकल नाम है ट्रेनिंग सैंपल। ट्रेनिंग सैंपल में हमारे पास ये वेरिएबल जो डिपेंडेंट वेरिएबल जैसा है उसका नाम है ग्रुपिंग वेरिएबल, टेक्निकल नाम ग्रुपिंग वेरिएबल। और इंडिपेंडेंट वेरिएबल जितना है जिसको तो हम ऐसे दिस इज कॉल्ड एज द डिस्क्रिमिनेटिंग वेरिएबल्स, डिस्क्रिमिनेटिंग वेरिएबल्स। और रेस्पॉन्स वेरिएबल हो गया ये इसका मतलब नाम तो है, दिस आर द टेक्निकल नेम। सो दिस इज द ट्रेनिंग सैंपल। Training sample provides you information about some subjects classified into two types of variable. One is the discriminating variable, which has many variables in it based on which we do the discrimination. And we also have the grouping variable that we will know the ultimate group into which they are classified. So this information based on these data using discriminant analysis. तो कैसे यूज होगा वो कहानी बाद में आएगी, कैसे डिस्क्रिमिनेट एनालिसिस करेंगे वो बाद में आएगा। अभी देखो धीरे धीरे हाथ पकड़ के पहले थोड़ा थोड़ा दिखाया, आप थोड़ा ज्यादा दिखा रहा हूं, और थोड़ा धीरे धीरे पूरा एक्सपोज कर दूंगा। अभी थोड़ा एक्सपोज हुआ है। अभी बेस्ड ऑन दिस वैल्यूज वी विल फाइंड आउट, जो प्रीवियस स्लाइड में दिखाया था डी, जो मैंने बोला था एक लीनियर फंक्शन है ऑफ द इंडिपेंडेंट वेरिएबल्स। इंडिपेंडेंट वेरिएबल्स मतलब डिस्क्रिमिनेटिंग वेरिएबल्स का एक लीनियर फंक्शन होगा। तो फंक्शन का हम करेंगे क्या, रुक जाओ। For each group the data should give me a centroid। तो एक सेंट्रोइड मिलेगा, सेंट्रोइड मान लो एक सेंट्रल वैल्यू, और ये डिस्क्रिमिनेटिंग फंक्शन मिलेगा। तो हम इस डेटा एनालिसिस करने के बाद, डिस्क्रिमिनेट एनालिसिस करने के बाद मुझे दो चीज मिल जाएगा। एक है जितना ग्रुप से, यहाँ पे पहला एग्जांपल में 3 ग्रुप्स था, दूसरे एग्जांपल में 2 ग्रुप्स, जितना ग्रुप से उतना मिलेगा हमको सेंट्रोइड, एक सेंट्रोइड मिलेगा हर ग्रुप के लिए, ठीक है। और एक डिस्क्रिमिनेटिंग फंक्शन मिलेगा, और एक डिस्क्रिमिनेटिंग फंक्शन मिलेगा जो करीब करीब एक लीनियर फंक्शन जैसा है, देखते हैं। और इसके बाद नाउ व्हाट आई विल डू, यू सी। तो व्हाट आई हैव नाउ, 2 ग्रुप्स है तो 2 सेंट्रोइड्स है और डिस्क्रिमिनेटिंग फंक्शन, ठीक है। डिस्क्रिमिनेटिंग फंक्शन आया उस डेटा सेट को एनालाइज करने के लिए। और ये बंदा है अलेक्जेंडर द ग्रेट जो अपने आप को बोलता है, उसका ये 8 स्टेज जो है उसका वैल्यूज भी है, पेरोनिया 3, हाइपरमेनिया, ट्राइकोमेट्रिया, इंटरवेंशन, हाइपोस्पोन्डियाट्रिक्स, scale, hysteria, all these values I have. And I have the group centroid। 2 ग्रुप है, एक सिजोफ्रेनिक ग्रुप है, एक नॉन सिजोफ्रेनिक ग्रुप। सिजोफ्रेनिक ग्रुप का ग्रुप सेंट्रोइड है 10 और नॉन सिजोफ्रेनिक ग्रुप का ग्रुप सेंट्रोइड है 2.82। Now I also have the discriminating function। मान लो ये डिस्क्रिमिनेटिंग फंक्शन है 0.2 into f scale। तो इस आदमी का f scale वैल्यू कितना है, 73 है। So what I will do, I will replace these values in this function। 4 वेरिएबल है, बाकी डॉट डॉट है, मतलब तो आई विल रिप्लेस दीज वैल्यूज हियर। 73 आई विल रिप्लेस इन प्लेस ऑफ एफ स्केल, 83 I will replace in place of para, and 58 I will replace in place of hypomania, and here I will replace 77 in hysteria, I will replace 78 and all other values, and then calculate 0.2 into 73 plus 0.3 into 83 plus 0.27 into 58 plus 1.3 into minus 1.3 into 77, etc. And then I find the value of discriminating function of this individual. Now I will compare it with the centroid. ये किसके ज्यादा करीब है? अब जिसके करीब होते हैं वो बड़े खुश नसीब होते हैं. So this is closer to 10 than 2.3.
Sir,
that means this individual जिसके करीब है.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir, how did you get this equation, this function?
अच्छा मैडम देखिए, ये एक मूवी है दामिनी, आपने देखा है दामिनी पिक्चर? हाँ, दामिनी पिक्चर में क्या होता है, जैसे मैं जब कॉलेज में था तो दामिनी रिलीज हुआ, तो दामिनी पिक्चर देखने गया था, तो बाहर देखा सानी देओल का पोस्टर में सानी देओल का फोटोग्राफ। तो मैं सोचा कि अच्छा इसमें सानी देओल है, उस समय सानी देओल का फैन थे तो देख लिया मूवी। अब मुंह में सानी देओल आता नहीं, करते करते इंटरवल हो, तो इंटरवल होने के बाद मुझे लगा कि सानी देओल है कि नहीं, या धोखा दे दिया। फिर वापस आया, आके फिर से पोस्टर देखा, अरे सानी देओल तो है, फिर आता क्यों नहीं। फिर इंटरवल के बाद 45 मिनट्स और चला गया, सानी देओल नहीं आया। फिर अचानक मीनाक्षी शेट्टी दौड़ते हुए किसी से धक्का लगता है और फिर वो घूमता है और फिर बोलता है क्या किलो का हाथ जब किस पर पड़ता है ना तो आदमी उठता नहीं जाता है, वो शुरू होता है डायलॉग। तो सानी देओल के लिए वेट कीजिए, वो भी बताएंगे, मतलब ये कैसा डिड्यूस हुआ है वो भी बताएंगे, थोड़ा वेट करना पड़ेगा, नहीं तो फिर दामिनी पिक्चर। तो
yes sir, I'll wait for Sunny Deol sir.
Yeah. So this person is identified as schizophrenic based on this. So this much. Now I'll enter into the application of discriminant analysis in PINA, and then I will.
Sir, Devjyoti sir.
Yes, please.
एक क्लैरिफिकेशन क्वेश्चन है, वो जो सिजोफ्रेनिक डेटा है, so do we have a prior data on whether the person is schizophrenic or not, or
yes.
are we determining based on the criteria that the person is schizophrenic or not?
No, actually, yes. This data set will be available. This data set is available. That means I know some number of patients who are schizophrenic, and okay. I also know what are the values of that they are corresponding to these 8 scale. इसमें से किसी एक अगर नहीं है, जैसे मान लीजिए पेशेंट सिजोफ्रेनिक है कि नहीं वो मुझे मालूम है, पर पेशेंट का एफ स्केल वैल्यू या पेगोनिया स्केल का वैल्यू मालूम नहीं है, तो दोस केसेस वी कैन नॉट कंसीडर इन आवर डेटा सेट। और ये हार्ड वेरिएबल्स का
just like in our cricket example, let's take the case of Suresh Raina or someone. So we are defining that this particular person is a performer or non-performer, right?
Yes.
Based on the certain criteria that we have already defined.
That we already defined. For example, we can take a simple example, like you have been teaching in XLRI for quite some time. So many years you know that which student gets placement in the first interview. When the company come and visit, which student get placement through. So you have data of the marks of the students in their final examination, and whether they had made it to the placement in the first interview. So from previous 3-4 years you have a big database. Now one student is coming to you. He is a third semester student. Now you know his marks in all the different papers. So based on that you are to classify him. That आपको ये बोलना है कि हाँ तू इंटरव्यू देगा तो पक्का पहला मतलब उसमें ही हो जाएगा, पहला इंटरव्यू में या तेरा पहला में नहीं होगा, 2-3 बार कोशिश करना पड़ेगा फिर जाके। तो we have a database, backup database. If you don't have the backup database, then we will go to cluster analysis for similar type of, and then that will be an unsupervised learning. So this is only an example of supervised learning. So we have some outcome variable, and we also.
Okay, got it, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So any other questions? Still this much. I will not tell how discriminant analysis is reduced. That I have kept for the end. Other than that, anything difficult to understand till this stage about discriminant analysis?
Sir, good morning. This is Obhik Mukherjee from Kolkata.
Oh, sir. How are you, sir?
Yeah, fantastic. And sir, enjoying your lecture like anything because I love cricket and Bollywood. So, sir,
thank you.
On a serious note, sir, I'm just asking because you use the word cluster analysis over here.
Yes.
I just wanted to know something. You decide when you will answer that. Just, sir, relate discriminant analysis with cluster analysis and EFA for us to understand clearly. You take your time and do that, sir, when you feel it is suitable.
Yes, sir. I understood your question. Cluster analysis. Suppose you have a group of patients whose these values are available. Say these values. Let me show you. Okay, these values are available. This grouping variable is not available. Grouping variable is not available. Only these variables are available. Based on that, you can do the clustering. Clustering means you group your subjects. Subjects is like Anwar, Vineet, Chandni, David, Julia, June, Manas, Nandu, Appu, Selim.
Okay.
These are your subjects. You want to group them. You see clusters, how many clusters to use, you can define. The researcher can define that I want 2 clusters. No, I want 3 clusters. I want 4 clusters. Okay, maximum cluster will be equal to the number of subjects. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So maximum in this data set you can have 10 clusters. But that does not give you any meaning. सबका अलग-अलग cluster फिर क्या meaning? So suppose you have one that I want to divide these observations or these subjects into 3 clusters. Now you run a cluster analysis. Now what cluster analysis will do? It will measure the similarity between each observation. Anwar Vinit से कितना similar है? Anwar चांदनी से कितना similar है? Anwar डेविड से कितना similar है? और फिर विनीत चांदनी से, विनीत डेविड से, विनीत जूलिया से, विनीत जून से, सबका सबसे. मतलब if there are say 10 number of people, so the number of such pairs will be 10 into 9 divided by 2. That means total 45. तो अंदर और 45 pairs का compare करें. And then based on these values, they are similarity. How close I am with Vinit, how close I am with Chandni, how close I am with Dravid. And in that, after that process, they will try to bring similar people together. जो लोग मतलब करीब करीब आसपास है वो लोग एक ग्रुप में और दूसरा ग्रुप में वो लोग जो लोग पहले ग्रुप से थोड़ा डिफरेंट है. तो आई डोंट नो वेदर दे आर सिजोफ्रेनिक, नॉन सिजोफ्रेनिक और क्या होगा. Or at the end of cluster analysis, I can say that okay, Anwar, Chandni, and June, they are quite similar. Nandu, Oppu, and Vinit, they are quite similar, and others are relatively similar to each other. So that actually cluster analysis. Cluster analysis will not
sir,
tell
can
you-
I say one thing? Can I say one thing?
Yeah.
Sir,
Yes, please.
आप जो IPL का वो बताए परफॉर्मर, नॉन परफॉर्मर एंड सुपर परफॉर्मर, those 3 has been
Yes,
done
yes.
by cluster analysis, and we are using that past data set for discriminant analysis for the future players. Can I say that?
Yeah, we can use it in that way. Means cluster analysis may not give you the exact name, like they are performer, they are non-performer, they are a super performer, that way. But it will group the people into some 3 groups, say 3 groups. After that, you may see that okay, both the Pandya brothers and Kyron Pollard, they are in the same group, and that group mostly have those good all-rounders who have contributed significantly for their own team. So that may be the cluster of the super. You have to do some logically looking into the data. After cluster analysis groups, you may logically look into the data, and then you may tell that okay, these people are performers, these people are non-performers, these people are underperformers.
Okay.
Sir,
Okay.
yeah, sir, this grouping variable can also be an observed variable, not necessarily output of the cluster. And that can be the data set which is used for future analysis. It can be an observed also, right? Hello?
In which this can be done. Yes.
The grouping variable can be an observed variable also.
So,
no,
sir, what you are telling that
Sir, you are inaudible.
Sir, can't hear you.
Yeah, there must be some network issue, it seems.
Hello. Hello, sir. Hello. 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 Okay, let me check. I think there are some network issues. Let me call him.